Why, hello everyone! Now today I will be literally talking to you guys about crises in Target, the company, not like a goal target. Let's get to start with people. Remember from the last part of the part 2 review, then you'll probably remember that I talked about Coca and Starbucks, and somehow you have a higher chance of getting injured in our tech company than you would be working with molten aluminum in Coca. Wow, it's so good! The safety's so good, unless someone put a bomb in the aluminum. But then again, the bomb would probably melt by the time the fuse would probably have melted by the time it could go off. So yeah, anyways, let's get to start with. So part 2, crisis and the target. Let me get this straight. So crises are actually things that can actually change habits too. Like a very important thing in life can change your entire life too. Like if you got a baby, you would probably change the way you shop things. If you got a divorce, and you'd probably change what you buy. And that's actually where we get to talk about Target. Right now we're talking about crises. Crises change your life. If like a hospital suddenly has a big scandal, they will probably change regulations so that the scandal would be like nothing right now. Like apparently, here's an actual example: the Rhode Island hospital. Now there's this elderly man, and he was supposed to be given a surgery. A neurosurgeon was shown scans of the guy, and then 20 minutes later, the guy was immediately went to the emergency room because apparently he was in a coma and he could die in a few hours. And the guy had to do surgery immediately, and he could die any moment. And he realized something. All right, which side of the brain was the tumor in, or something, whatever it was. And then they realized, hey, I forgot too. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna save the life. I remember the CT scans. It's on the right side. And the nurse like, what if it's not on the right? Go ahead. Let me check. No. I'm the surgeon. I am your boss. If you contradict me, you are fired. So while you do all that, I will save this man's life. Do you want to be fired? And the nurse is like, no. Apparently, if you say no to a surgeon and you're a nurse, then your career is on jeopardy, and you have a 98% chance of literally getting fired. Wow. And then the surgeon operated the right side of the old man's brain, and then immediately found that there was no tumor there. I did the wrong side of the brain. He immediately sewed it back up, which took an hour, and then he took out the other end side of the brain, took out the tumor, sewed it back up, which took another hour. So the operation, which should have taken only 1 hour, doubled in length, 2 hours. A few hours later, that old man died, and then the doctor was fired. Not very surprising for nurses, though. Eventually, the system was so disorganized that at least somebody would be fatal from it. 18 months later, a similar injury happened to another old man that was created from another old surgeon, where the person was supposed to be surgered on the left side of the brain, but however, surgered on the right side of the brain. And then a few months later, a kid was supposed to be operated on the wrong side of the mouth, which is darn painful. And then a few months after that, a patient's finger was supposed to be operated, but they operated the wrong finger. Yikes. And then last but not least, they were supposed to a drill bit was left inside a man's brain, and they just sewed it up without realizing the drill was still there. The guy died a few hours later. After all these deaths, and unfortunately, this got all into the public attention, and it was all in the newspapers. Eventually, the national U.S. government intervened, and they forced these things. They literally forced the hospital to pay back $500,000 in fines. And then later, because of all this publicity, they decided finally that they should change something. And they closed the hospital for 1 day, and they told everyone teamwork is necessary. Surgeons, just because nurses contradict you doesn't mean that they are stupid. Don't fire them just because they criticize you. Actually listen to their criticisms. It might actually help you. And then they did that. One day, a surgeon was supposed to be doing the surgery, and before the surgery, he said, all right, anyone saying anything before we start the surgery? And then they realized, yes, sir, I just want to make sure that you take a break right after the surgery, because you need a break. You didn't mention it, so I thought I would mention it right now, because apparently doctors literally not take, stops, breaks in between. And they're like, okay, good to know. Eventually, some people, and the solution to this, they recorded the surgeries. Apparently, doctors and nurses alike actually all united on one thing: don't you dare record our surgeries. We want that to be private. And so they didn't even take breaks. So they immediately went on to the next thing. And when they should have been resting their brain, getting ready for the next part of the surgery, while their tired eyes were trying to work, the surgeon literally said, "I can do this, I can do this," and then suddenly do a mishap. And then every 3 months, they made the surgeons say admit a mistake that they have made or almost made, which is a pretty embarrassing thing to do, especially when you're doing it in public. And of course, this crisis actually changed everything in life. This Scottish place changed, and then Starbucks itself changed too, eventually, when all these crises happened. And next thing I'm going to talk about is Target. You might have actually bought things from Target, and if you were ever a pregnant woman and you bought things from Target, you might have been a bit creeped out when you realized that they were giving you pregnant women coupons, which was pretty creepy, because apparently Target knows that you're pregnant, but you never told them they were pregnant, and then you probably be creeped out. Fortunately, Target doesn't make it clear that they know you're pregnant. They just make it look like it's just some random stuff slapped in, because they just put pregnant stuff in there and slap in a bunch of random other stuff. Like they slap a Lego set right next to a diaper, they slap a lawnmower next to baby lotion, they slap a Pringles ad next to like a stroller or a crib or whatever. That's all very important and very, 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 very interesting, in fact. But however, all of that is actually pretty useful too, and no woman is creeped out thinking that Target is spying on them. However, there's this one incident that literally happened before they decided to go on this approach. They made they customized magazines for each women, and then one day they sent a magazine full of pregnant ads, like coupons for cribs and baby formula, those kind of things. And then they sent it to a teenage girl. Dad got furious, and he was like, "Hey, you want her? Are you encouraging her to be pregnant?" And then the manager said sorry. A few days later, he said sorry, but then the dad sounded perplexed, and then realized something. Oh yeah, I should be the one saying sorry. Apparently, there are some things that were happening in my house that I had no idea was happening. My teenage daughter, who's still in high school, is apparently pregnant. She's expecting in August. Wow. Target is so smart, they found out a teenage girl is pregnant. Wow. My goodness sake, that's also kind of bad too. So apparently Target is a pretty smart tool too, and Target uses this onto everything else, like skateboards, sport cars, but mainly pregnant women stuff, because apparently for businesses and companies that sell stuff, pregnant women are gold mines, because apparently the average mother spends about $6,800 before a baby's first birthday, and then you also have to buy things for a baby shower too. So yeah, Target can literally figure out what you're doing. Like if you buy a lot of baby stuff, that probably means that the baby is coming soon, and if you buy a little bit of each, that means the baby's like coming a bit farther. And if you only buy one baby item, that probably means that you're buying for like someone else's like baby shower. And then again, if it also is clear that you've changed your brand type every time you realize that you got divorced, then they were like, hey, it's probably a baby shower. She got divorced 2 years ago anyway, because of her sale prices. That's about it. That's pretty much it. That's actually how habits can actually be used to go ahead and create things and algorithms that can be used to go ahead and figure out if a woman is pregnant or not, and what to sell that woman or man. This is all pretty very, very, very important in life, and I really hope you guys actually enjoy this. And also, if you do make these habits, please share with them in the comments below. I would like to know what kind of habits you use to keep your life in order. I'm having terrible with habits, and that's about it. So hopefully you guys actually enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you actually enjoyed me talking about Alcoca and Starbucks in the previous episode, and the crisis, and right now Target in this episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Check out Claude cleaning his stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, Sean out, peace, and please wear a helmet. Bye!